What up, my good people? Eric here. And I just got done watching Arcane, the League of Legends adaptation on Netflix. I loved it. Oh, that was some good sauce. Dual, duly recommend. 9 episodes, and let me tell you, them 9 episodes went lightning fast. I watched it in one go, and man, was it good. It's animated, for those unaware. I have no prior experience with League of Legends. I've never played a minute of it in my life. I don't I don't know really. I know of its popularity and everything, but I don't know the characters. I don't know anything about it. So I went in with ver- fresh eyes here. Let me put it that way. Yeah, the animation is gorgeous. I don't know what it is. It kind of reminds me of oh, every time I want to go to think of something, I forget. Love, Death and Robots. There's certain I don't know if it's CGI painted over. There's like certain animation within those episodes within that series that really remind me of this, and I loved it. It's absolutely awesome. It doesn't look stiff. It looks natural, and it's just like a painting almost. The animation was killer. Uh, and then you had the story. Story was off the hook. The setting was fantastic. Um, so yeah, I loved it. Action. Oh gosh, magic. Would it be a little bit of science fiction? I'm not really sure. There's some weird things that go on. Maybe a little bit of drama, crime, stuff like that. But yeah, so loved it. Characters were phenomenal. It's just dynamic. I was invested into them emotionally, and season. I cannot wait for season two. It should have been out already. Like they should have just made season one and season two back to back. And they should have just made as much of this content as possible right off the rip. Right off the rip, yeah. And so like they done good on this one. It was just an engaging and just wildly exciting series with a lot of suspense and antagonism. Just good versus evil, hierarchy, lower class versus upper class, just that type of war, political intrigue type stuff going on. So to get into it, that was my spoiler free. I'm gonna talk about it because I want to. Um, ha! That ending. Oh sheesh! That ending was. Oh boy! Just when things I can't stop smiling. Just when things could have and like the series could have been done. Uh, wow. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, dude. That series, the Arcane could like everything was p's and q's, man. But Jinx just had to go and jinx it. I mean, she just had to go like psycho crazy. She kind of reminds me a little bit of Harley Quinn, I guess. Excuse me, I'm a little bit under the weather here, but yeah, just absolutely a wild card. You never know what she's gonna do, and she's got so much pent up psychosis and anger that just I loved it. Just when they agreed to let them have their own nation, let them be independent. She just fires a rocket right into the cat, right into all of them. Like, oh my god, the calamity! I love it. Oh, I love it. That was awesome. But let me rewind the clock here a little bit. The I think what grabbed me in the beginning was the animation. It was just so vibrant, but the vibrant the upper city was vibrant, the darker city was dank. I mean, there was so much atmosphere in this, and I love the utopia on top of the on above level. This automaton gear. It's not steam. I don't know if it's steampunk. Everything's gears, but I didn't see any like specific steam type. Everything's like a automaton. Everything's with mechanical gears and everything. You got this utopian city of progress, elitism, um, everyone fine clothing, and then you got the lower level with the extreme poverty and just decrepitness, um, darkness. I mean, I love so you got these conflicting environments, these these two types of people just clashing in ideals, and one trying to suppress the other, and the other trying to crawl out of their environment and reach utopia. And just the atmosphere of this freaking awesome world that this Pildro, what the heck, Pilton? What was the name of this? Pilltown or something? This town is just, I love this mechanics of it all, and then they're all the weapons that they use and everything was really cool. But yeah, we start out with a huge robbery that with these four kids. Well, okay, I lied. You start out with the bridge scene. I almost forgot about that. The very beginning that introduces us to our main characters and how they were kind of became, well, what happened with them, like this red mist of death was on this bridge, and there's a lot of fighting, and they're seeing a bunch of death all around them, and then they're kind of saved by this bigger guy, this dude who ends up becoming their father, their adoptive father, so to speak, and kind of raising them in the underground, who you kind of learn is kind of the peacekeeper. He's the reason that the world that they live in is somewhat stable, and I love it. Like, that's just so awesome. But it just grabs you from the very beginning because you're thrown into this chaotic environment of blood and death. And then you fast forward, you go through a time skip, and the kids are older now, and now they're trying to go on their own and perform a job that they feel that they're old enough to perform, like perform a robbery that they want to play their part in this world and earn their keep, I guess. The only way they know how. So they perform this robbery, and then, it's so tense. And then you got the element of Powder, the little girl who was a loaded gun from the beginning. Like, you just, like, none of should we have brought her? Really? She's fine. She'll be able to handle it, so you got this whole suspense of what's going to happen. And then, of course, the robbery goes bad, but it would have been fine. But Powder, I mean, obviously her first big screw up is with these little magic gems. And then now we're introduced to a whole another element to this world, and that's magic. And magic is unfamiliar to the people in this world, except for the few. But we're slowly introduced to the magic because this world that we are in is scientific. Everything revolves around science and stuff that makes sense. Magic does not, but it's there, which is so freaking awesome. I love it. We just get a tease of this magic, and I hope to definitely explore more of that because it's so freaking awesome. But yeah, from then on, I mean, it's just the theme of Powder and her evolution into what she becomes later on, which is just a jinx. But there's so many different storylines that are going all over the place. I mean, you got the council members all corroborating to uh, find out who was involved in this and suppress the lower levels. You got that political intrigue of different people coming in. Um, I guess I should have mentioned that a little later on, but so you got them, and then like you see Powder and Vi, the two main characters, of course, because they have different colored hair, so of course they're main characters. But then you got like their other two best friends, those two guys, Milo and Milo and something else, Gorgon, no, but Muscle, got Milo and the Muscle, and stuff's happening, and then we kind of learn that there's an evil lurking about in within this undercity, and we learn the connections that he has to our peacekeeper Vandor. And because of this job in the very beginning that was completely and utterly botched, the ball starts rolling here, and things start happening. The upper utopia needs to put someone in the slammer for this. Like, someone needs to be held accountable. And oh my, so of course Vander's not going to give up his kids, so he gives up himself. But there's so much more than that, because the whole time we've been learning that there's an evil underlord who's creating a secret army to overthrow Utopia, and Vander's in his way, so he kidnaps Vander, and this whole mega fight happens, and it's freaking awesome. That was a freaking awesome fight with Vi, kind of like the older sister, the older sister of the group, finally like kind of taking up the mantle with them gloves. She just takes up them gauntlets. Man, that was so awesome. Oh, that was so awesome. I loved it. She's a badass. I mean, bad. So that happens. And then once again, Powder comes in, and she's been talking about how she's always running away, so she's gonna try to help save her dad as well, and no one else really knows she's there. And she remembers, oh, I got these little gemstones that explode, so she does her thing, throws a little monkey bomb in there, and ends up just utterly botching. They were free. That's what's so crazy. They were scot free. Vi and the father and the two boys were on their way out, and she just ruined it. She got everyone killed and hurt, and just never. It just doesn't. I can't, like, that's the part that really. She's just a child, but doesn't realize her grave mistake. I think she just kind of like mentally blocks it, and just doesn't realize I just kind of utterly become just completely blocks it off, and Vi vows, you're a jinx. I can't be around you anymore because you killed our dad. You killed our brothers. So she leaves, has a moment of recourse. I think that might be the right word, or a moment of reflection. She can't do that, but within that moment, she gets kidnapped and taken to prison, and that freaking evil dude. What the heck was his name? Victor? The freaking evil dude. Piltown? I don't have my phone. Well, yeah, I do have my phone. My phone, thank God. Arcane. Um, Characters. Silco. Jace. Oh, okay. Silco is this freaking evil dude. You could tell he's got the evil eye, and he's the one creating the army. So then, in a moment of weakness, Powder's there on the ground. Silco comes and pretty much just adopts her. Says that, yeah, your sister left you all alone. I'll take care of you. Your dad never really did that. Blah 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 blah. Pretty much like causes irreparable damage, mental damage on her, and kind of turns her into a fighting machine, and um would it be gaslights her, but just does everything cruel and turns her into to Jinx and makes her kill her old self essentially. And but before that, I guess I forgot to mention that at that moment when he adopts her, there's another time skip. Yes, 3 time skips. Was it or 2 time skips? Whatever. Ah, oh, there's something so awesome about a time skip. I love it. Like, so now we know the relationship of these girls when they were younger. They bonded, how they became, like, how their relationship became ruined, what happened, this misunderstanding that she did leave, but she couldn't come back because she was in prison. The Vi couldn't come back because she was in prison, and now she gets out of prison, and Powder has turned into Harley Quinn, this Jinx, this wild, chaotic, violent person. And it's freaking awesome. And they're on this war path. Silco's still trying to conquer Utopia and make his own nation. Their home on the underground is now run by this evil organization, and Powder Jinx is now just running around killing people, doing whatever she pleases, and there's just so many different threads, just so many different storyline threads that are all over. And this is what I should have mentioned, didn't mean to mention back then, but now you got the upper levels of society, the council people, wanting to suppress the lower levels. People in the upper city, Jace is a councilman now, and throughout the whole series, he has been he's been a scholar who has been trying to, remember them little gemstones I was talking about? He's been trying to harness that energy and produce magic, and he has done that. And because of this improvement that he's made magically to society, he has now become a councilman. But he that's where it's so awesome, because now they've created like magical time portal travel and enhanced things with magic. Now that they've got magic weapons and magic hammers, magic huge freaking gauntlets, and just other stuff with magic. And they're working on like a little magic cube, hex tech or hex cubes thing. And but anyway, so they've got like, you got this, him trying to do his magic stuff, people trying to take advantage of the magic, the corruption going on in the highest political spheres of Utopia, the evil antagonist Silco and his underworld dealings and what he's doing, Jinx doing her chaotic thing, Vi, trying to figure out, to track down Jinx and help this other. There's just so much, and I make it sound unbelievably incohesive, but it is very easy to follow, and it is very enjoyable. There's just a lot of emotional depth in the characters, and the setting is freaking awesome. It's just so chaotic. It's the fighting is there's some freaking fantastic fights. Vi versus that one, Silco's right hand woman. I mean, they just go at it. It's just a freaking boss fight. There's a bunch of other fights. It's just freaking awesome. This is definitely good PR for the League of Legends. Yeah. So that's that. I mean, definitely worth checking out. Just an awesome, awesome show. 9 episodes. Season 2, come on, baby. Let's go. Come out next week. So, with that, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.